So I've got to be completely honest with you and say that I don't know how much progress we can actually make with Momento Mile. Because before I released my first video covering the Fantasy Finds DLC, I had a bunch of tech issues that caused me to lose an original recording, which meant that there were a bunch of autosaves that I had to manually roll back by backing up saves, deleting old save files, and eventually a friend sent me her save files to make it all work and have a version of Momento Mile that I could use for that video. Right? We talked about this, I'm pretty sure. I guess to cut to the chase, if we look in the top right, there are no objectives for Momento Mile. Reaching Curator class 6 just requires me to get 3 more stars across any of my museums, but Momento Mile right now is only 2 of 4, and there are no objectives. There's nothing that says, hey, you need to do this to get a 3rd star at Momento Mile, and I think that's maybe a side effect of the fact that I had that 3rd star here, and my career progress is just a bit weird. So I guess what I'm getting at is I'm okay with that because I'm having a lot of fun with Momento Mile. We just might need to go to some other museums if we want to unlock the 6th class museum. Let's go to the map. Basically, there's a museum up here called Pointy Mountains. We need Curator class 6 to unlock this. I've never played it. I've never seen it. I didn't know it was a thing. I think it was added in an update at some point, and I guess I want to play this at some stage. So to do that, we're going to need to go to Wayland Lodge and get a 3rd star, or we're going to need to go to, well, not Momento Mile, down to Passwater Cove or Bungle Wasteland, etc., etc. But we're not doing that today, because I want to send an expedition out to the mines of Adnosia. There's one thing here that we haven't discovered, and I'm willing to bet that it might be the geode cracking machine that we need. So we're going to set up an expedition. We're going to autofill this, and this just will not do. We're going to be sending someone with a good amount of dexterity, hopefully. Let's go with you, since that seems like a good bet. And let's go with, let's see, you've got 5, you've got 9. That's fine. We might lose some money, but honestly, I'm okay with that. As long as no one's going missing in action, it's not the end of the world. Let's go detailed as well, just because we can. And I guess while we're here, let's start some projects at the workshop, because I do really happen to enjoy my bonus XP for everybody. So let's just make 10 of those. It's always good to have them. And I guess hopefully we get something good back from the mines of Adnosia so we can, I don't know, do what we got to do with these guys, basically. I'm hoping that today we can get a bunch more fantasy exhibits so I can start fleshing out the areas around this particular part of the museum. But I'm also realizing that what I could do, and it's sort of just hit me that I could do this, we could put a cafeteria over here. Not everything needs to be some kind of exhibit or showcase. We could turn like this area into a little cafeteria. So I think honestly, I might do that. We have a lot of people that are standing around wanting food and drink and all that good stuff. So why don't we say that this space right here can in fact be a dwarven tavern thing, essentially, is what I'm thinking of. So we'll put a door right there. We do have other options as well. Ooh, they've encountered a dilemma. Well, they're going to have to wait, is what they're going to have to do, because I have a dwarven tavern to build. Now we'll put that thing right there. We'll put this guy. Oh, where do I want to put this? That's going to be the real question. I do not know. I suppose here wouldn't necessarily hurt. It'd be kind of cool to have it right with the staff door. I'm not against it, and I think honestly, yeah, let's put it right in the middle, and that should be fine. We'll put the tavern, what was that? The tray bin can go back in that corner right there. And I would love to, I wish you could flip these. I wish you could say like, I want one going the other way so I can have them, you know, have 2 of them in here. I think it would look really cool. Man, I don't quite know what to do with this. It does look a little silly in the middle of the room. I'm going to be honest. I don't love it being just in the middle of the room. You know, I think I'm going to put it over here. I think this is a decent little spot for this guy, and I think it'll totally work. We'll put a pillar right back there for some decoration, and I think we'll put some pillars in pretty much all of the corners here just to really make this place kind of have that that tavern vibe that we're looking for. We'll put this guy next to the staff door, which is apparently giving us some problems, so we'll put it there instead. Are we just oh, can I not have that door there? That door might be a problem. That's going to be really unfortunate if it is. I was really hoping I could keep that staff door on the back side of this guy, but I have a sneaking suspicion that we can't. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's get ourselves a table. Let's build this, sell invalid items, and then I'm hoping I can go back in here and say that I want a staff door right here, and it must be placed in a partition wall. I knew it was going to do that. I knew it was going to happen. Oh, okay. Can I therefore modify this building and do something like this? I totally can. It looks silly. It does look a little silly. We could make the canteen like a little smaller and build like a corridor around it. I'm not actually against doing that because I really don't think I like that. I don't think I love that. So let's take out pretty much all of this, and it gives us an interesting shape for the room, I suppose. It's a bit weird, but I'm kind of here for it, to be totally honest. So we'll do this again. We'll get ourselves a nice staff door right in the middle there. And I think I'm willing to put a staff door just over here as well, because I think it probably makes a bit of sense to have that. I will say the slightly smaller canteen is a choice, but I do think I can make it look a little bit more interesting because this guy can now live over here. And I think that's pretty cool. I like that. And there we go. I think this right here is going to be perfect. So let's get somebody to work in here. I think we'll go for Bob Grunt. Actually, you know what? No, I don't like, actually, no, I was going to say the Mohawk's not good, but it's a little dwarven, right? It's kind of a thing. You can go ahead and work in there is what you can do, Bob. And we're going to make sure that that is pretty much the only thing that you were going to be doing by assigning you to the cafeteria, but also going into our zones and essentially saying that good old Bob right there is going to be working in the fantasy zone. So that should keep our cafeteria up and running, which is perfect. That should make our people happy, which is also perfect. And of course we have this space back here so staff can still get around to the two ticket booths, which is also perfect. So when it comes to this dilemma, the team are lost in the mine's twisting tunnels. A lone minecart piques their interest, but its track leads almost directly upwards. Okay, well, we're gonna ride the minecart. This is what we're gonna do. Oh boy. The high-speed trip on the minecart feels like it lasts a lifetime, with each corner more frightening than the last. In truth, it doesn't take that long, but they won't forget the ride. Oh, someone's sensitive now? That's fine. I'm sure they'll be fine. Why do we have no one restocking this gift? What is going on with this gift shop down here? There is no one restocking it? There's no one working here? I guess my staff are all on break, or they were on break. At least it's up and running now, which is totally fine. This place also, massive queue, which is slightly concerning. I'm gonna be honest, but I do like to see that there's a bunch of people wanting to get some food in here. That's very, very cool. I love that we have like a little dwarven tavern now. That makes me very happy. It also makes me happy that we didn't have anything too bad happen to us while at the mines of Adnosia, and in return, we have a fire geode. That is not what I was expecting, but sure, can be processed by a geode device. Let's send that to inventory because I'm not too sure where exactly we're going to get that. We've also unlocked the Great Dwarf, which is fine. That's all good. Let's unlock it and see what exactly we're dealing with. We have this place up here. Window Barbarian. We need to provide 5 dwarf guests with their dream visit. Okay. All right, that's fine by me. Can we go here? We totally can. There's more dwarven devices to be discovered. Are we going to lose anybody? Doesn't look like it, which is completely fine. In fact, what does this do? More happiness. Okay. That's a really good party to send out. Let's give them some bonus XP. Let's go detailed. 48 days is fine. We'll start that expedition, and I'm really hoping that we can get our hands on some kind of dwarven device that's going to let me crack into these things. Which has me thinking that we might need to move our dwarven exhibit into its own area, which I'm fine with. I love the idea of having like a big steampunky space in here with cogs and lights and that sort of nice reflective shiny floor as well. I think it'll be really, really cool. Okay, so I suppose we should take a look at what we got back from there. It is the Geode device, which is kind of cool looking, and I'm assuming I have no idea how this thing works. Can turn geodes into gems by utilizing the power of a smelting device. Okay, so that tells me that we are going to get a bunch of dwarven stuff that's going to need its own exhibit, which again, I'm fine with. I love the idea of a dwarven exhibit. That seems really fun. Let's just keep sending these guys out. Let's keep seeing what we can get our hands on. I would love a little bit more luck from this party, if that's at all possible, because if we can get a little bit more luck, we can potentially unlock this, which is more bonus XP. So this should be really good for everybody. We'll go ahead and start that expedition as per usual. And I guess we'll take a look and see, can we do anything else while we're here? Is there anything to discover down this way? There absolutely is. Do we have the ability? I mean, someone's going to get cursed probably. I don't love that. Not a big fan of that, but you know what? Sure. Let's send them out as well. That doesn't seem like a terrible idea in the slightest. So I suppose when it comes to some kind of dwarven exhibit, we're gonna need to build an area for it. So I'm thinking we put a wall straight across this way, and I'm thinking we put ourselves a nice big door on this. I do like the temple archway, but it's distinctly not very dwarven. I think the metal archway is kind of perfect for the cogs and the metal and all that stuff that we can play with. This right here, I think this gate can also go and be replaced with a metal archway. And then that means that this entire section here is going to have to be changed out for something else. But honestly, that's okay. I'm also going to get rid of the vending machine because we don't want that anymore. And we'll figure this out is what we're going to do. At the very least, I am going to take this floor and I'm going to put it just in here. I'm going to take these walls and I'm going to put them in all of this space as well so that we can kind of get just the general vibe in here pretty much right away. And you know, one thing I'm noticing with these exhibits is that there's these purple gems around a bunch of them. So I'm wondering, could I get away with using the creepy carpet in the dwarven exhibit to kind of guide people through it? Although in saying that, I might be inclined to do what I've done already with this and build something a bit weird that kind of snakes around this area instead of just being a room. We talked about this in the last episode that I'm really wanting to get away from just building warehouses. So let's take a look at how big the Geode device is. Wow, that's absolutely huge. That's a little bit unexpected. I'm not gonna lie. Wow. This thing also needs to be close to like a smelting device, I think it said. So yeah, that's gonna be a challenge. I think the Geode device can be against that wall. That seems like kind of a fun spot for it. Maybe the dwarven exhibit gets extended. Maybe this wall here can kind of go away and we can just extend the general dwarven exhibit into this area. That might have to be what we do here because we're really not going to have enough room for a whole lot else. So this can go and this can go. We'll keep that archway. I think that's totally fine. This is like a little offshoot of the existing exhibit, which I'm fine with. And I suppose we'll just grab this wall and do the exact same thing. We'll do it all around here. We'll get it in here as well. And some way, somehow, I'm going to have to make this interesting. Although I will say, I do think this is going to give me room to get another geode in here, which I'm actually completely okay with because we do have the fire geode to play with. So we'll move this guy right up into that corner. We're going to move this guy pretty much right up to there, I think is totally fine. And then we want to get the fire geode in here, which I guess can live right about there. I think that's okay. I mean, it gives us a bunch of geodes, which look neat. So absolutely no complaints from me. Let me go ahead and get another little light for the middle there, though. I want this one, and I want it to be right about there, just to sort of brighten that area up a little bit. And I think that looks okay. I think I'm all right with that. I think we can work with that. I think we'll move this guy into the corner back there, and we'll come up with something for this space. This thing is absolutely huge. We're going to have to figure that out. But for now, let's have a look at what we have. It is the smelting device. Okay. Oh, it's like a little guy. It's a little fella. It's sort of doing a breathalyzer is what he's doing. That's fine. He's a dwarf. That's to be expected. Okay. So these need to be within reach of each other, which is very interesting. So this thing goes sort of that way. I guess we could sort of space them out a bit. I suppose. Like if I put this one here and I move you forward a bit, I think they're technically overlapping. So I think technically they'll work. And then if we take out a little bit of this wall and then bring this wall sort of through, it is going to guide people into that space, which I'm okay with. This area back here, maybe vending machines, maybe seating, decorations, not really too sure. This area, I think, is ultimately just going to become like a warehouse, which I really don't love, but I think it's kind of going to have to, you know? I think that's all it can be. I'm also wondering, do I just like, hold on, does this work? Does this do anything? I honestly have no idea. We can decorate the thing, which we absolutely will do, but I suppose, do I just like pick this up and put it in there? Geode device is inactive. Interesting. Okay. Okay, hold on a second. This thing says combines gas, fire, and wind into a stone melting concoction. Does that mean I need more stuff? I get the feeling I'm going to need more stuff. Okay. Well, first things first, let's see what we got from Wishfell Village. We do have an injury, but that's okay. We got war turf. Yeah, it's a little depressing. Let's send that to the inventory. We'll figure out somewhere for that to go shortly. What is this complaining about? Is there no access to this room? Unreachable. How is it unreachable? It should be completely fine. We have this space back here. They can like go down there. Is this in the way? It is not. Oh, that's really strange that it's an unreachable room. I don't like that. Not a fan of that. I think it's because of where I've got the like this wall ending. So maybe these guys need to be closer together. Maybe we sort of shuffle you down, shuffle this down just a little bit. I would like, you know what? They're going to have to go closer is what they're going to have to do. And then you get moved to that bit of wall. This one over here gets moved down to be in line with that one. This is going to come down to that space. And essentially I need to go in here and take out just a tiny bit of wall and all of this stuff. We'll put this back in and immediately we can see people running around there. So I'm assuming, yeah, the bathroom is up and running again. So I suppose we should send some people back to the Great Dwarf and see what exactly is going on. I don't love that we might lose some money, but I do like the XP that we're getting out of this. So we'll go ahead and just continue with that. Can we avoid, yeah, we can avoid the money problem as well. So let's just start the expedition and see if we get some stuff that's going to help us with the smelting device. Okay, so the helicopter is back. Everybody looks to be totally fine. And the reward this time happens to be a gas device with a stinky old cheese in there. Okay, well, okay. I get the feeling we are going to need a much bigger space to make this happen, which is slightly frustrating, but that's fine. Oh, this thing's actually up and running. That's okay. Okay. Let me move you. It does have money in it, but I want to get rid of it and put a smaller little donation stand in there because I think we're going to need some space is what we're going to need. We're definitely going to be needing some space in here. So let's put this guy in that corner and that seems totally fine. It is still connected to everything, which is great. I do not know how I'm going to fit everything into this room, but we'll figure it out. I also don't have any info in this room right now, so maybe, oh, I really don't know. I'm not going to bother decorating the room too much just yet either, because I think ultimately it probably doesn't make too much sense to go crazy with decorations until we are, I suppose, up and running is the way to look at it. There's probably not too much sense in doing too much in here. We'll space these guys out though, so they're in the middle of that wall at least. Although they might even need to move. I've really got no idea. Do I just keep going to that same location now? Is that how that works? Gas device. No. Interesting. So to unlock this place, I need more buzz from dwarven devices. I'm assuming is the gas device considered mythical gear? No, it's a dwarven device. Interesting. So I don't have everything that I need, but a bit more buzz from the dwarven devices will get me progress, I suppose. So yeah, let's increase the buzz on these. We need to be near hanging fantasy torches, near a hanging fantasy torch, and near a fantasy double banner decoration. We can do that. We can absolutely do that. Let me go into decorations. Let me go to fantasy and get myself one of these guys. And that gives us a buzz bonus and a few of those. And then we need the double banner thing as well, which I guess in this case can go up into that corner, and that should be totally fine. We are going to need to decorate this space a little bit more though. So let me change this one out for the dwarven banners, and let me get some other dwarven banners for behind this guy, because I suppose that makes a bit of sense. We'll do some dwarven banners here and here as well. And that has given us the Furious Forge, which I'm very much, is that supposed, no, I get it. I get it. Furious, yeah, I get it. Furious Forge, yep. All right, if you don't get it, then don't worry about it, but I get it. Let's put that in there and that'll be fine. Let's head to the Furious Forge, I suppose, and see what exactly we're gonna be needing for that one. So it's gonna be up this way. We'll go ahead and unlock it, which is fine. We only need a barbarian. And then this place has dwarven devices. Display 3 pristine quality dwarven device exhibits. Interesting. Pristine quality dwarven device exhibits. Does that mean that I would need to go back here and grab these devices all in pristine quality? That's kind of the feeling I'm getting. Or maybe these geodes need to be higher quality as well. That's also a possibility. Oh man, we're gonna have a lot to do here. Okay, so the Furious Forge. Deep in the tunnels of the Dwarven Peninsula, legendary armaments are churned out at lightning fast pace with red-hot hammering. Okay, let's set up an expedition. We'll go with this and autofill. Unfortunately, we're probably gonna get sick, which isn't great, but that's fine. In fact, we're almost guaranteed to get sick, but that's also fine. And you know what? While that's going on, I want to set something up for the Mines of Adnosia, because I want to see if we can get better quality geodes. I think that would be kind of cool. We're at great quality right now, so we'll set this expedition up. We do need to make sure that we are not experiencing the worm food event, because that would be a problem. And I suppose we can go for the XP. I suppose we can also go for detailed, which will give us plus 55%. I would like to maybe cancel this job right here, although we only have one more to go. But if we could get something to increase the survey level every time we're sending somebody out, I can't remember what it's called, but one of those I think would be really good for getting us the pristine quality dwarven exhibits. Oh no, this is interesting. I wasn't expecting Nor's hammer, but I think that's because I may have forgot that I sent out 2 expeditions. We're fine. This is cool. It's pristine, which is amazing. Nor was a great dwarven warrior, famous for their skills with a hammer. Brilliant in battle, maniacal in metalwork, unmatched at hanging up picture frames. That's good. That's nice. That's good. I don't know where we would place this. I'm gonna be honest. We are starting to get a little bit overwhelmed with some of the stuff that we have. This thing is very, very cool though. I do really like the look of it. I just don't, for the life of me, know where I would put it. And that's the problem that we're starting to run into quite regularly with this museum at the moment, is I have no idea where anything should go, because I really didn't plan to expand this place all that well. So this can go into inventory for now, and we will probably have to build a new section of this whole place once we go ahead and figure out this dwarven thing. So let's go ahead and open this crate and see what we have. It is an epic, I think, grass geode, which is fine. We'll send that to inventory. And what is the current one looking like? It is actually average. So I suppose we pick that up and throw it away, analyze it. I don't know. Do we have an analysis thing? Is this the analysis thing? No, it's not. Yeah, we'll send it to inventory for now and then put the better one out there. So this guy is going to live right about there for now. And essentially we're just going to rinse and repeat that same thing. We're going to keep sending people out until we get pristine versions of each of these. And I suppose that's just how it's going to go. So let's go for the dexterity that we really desperately need. Do you have dexterity? No. Who has the higher dexterity? You've got 1, 9, 5. We'll go with you and you. Yeah, that should be fine. I'm okay with that. We'll go detailed. And again, we'll just go for bonus XP. Hopefully we're done over in the workshop. We absolutely are. I just looked at it and knew that. What is it we're looking for though? It's the survey scanner. Let's make 10 of them. Oh, now that's a little bit more like it. We have a pristine water geode. We'll send it to inventory though, because admittedly, we probably need more than just one pristine water geode, but we will go ahead and just sort of keep sending people out, because if we can get some more pristine stuff, that would be kind of nice. We're also very close to getting just a bunch of pristine stuff here. So that's, again, kind of what we're looking for. Let's send you so we avoid the worm. Let's go for the survey scan. We don't need the survey scanner, I guess. We'll just go for a normal safe expedition. We should get something pristine out of that. And I guess what we can do is get rid of the old water geode and put the new one out there is what we can do. So we'll grab you. You're going to live right about there. And that's a step in the right path is what that is. I think one more pristine dwarven exhibit and we might actually unlock that other location, which would be lovely because I think we need to go there to get the other stuff to make this guy work. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's only an epic fire geode. You know what? That's okay. We'll send it to inventory. We have one more crate up here to take a look at. This is going to be a pristine geode device. Okay. That works for me. That absolutely works for me. Let's go ahead and send this one to inventory. Let's go ahead and grab the pristine one, and that should hopefully unlock a thing. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, Cog Tower. There we go. Let's see what exactly we're going to be doing here. We have 2 dwarven devices. We have curses. Oh, wow. 50? That's some pretty high dexterity needed. That is kind of wild. Okay. Well, at least nobody's going to be dying. We'll just go for survey scanners. We'll go detailed plus 70% is pretty good. I would like to send you for plus 105% survey level. And that's probably fine. I think we'll just go ahead and start that expedition. Someone's getting cursed, but it's not me. And that's fine. The team discover a dwarven shrine. The crystal figure of a dwarf is surrounded by a ring of stones with a single gap, leaving it frustratingly incomplete and difficult to look at. Well, I think we're going to complete the pattern. That's better. As your team completes the pattern, the crystal dwarf springs to life and does a little jig. Nice. Okay. We've yeah, little magical crystal dwarf thing doing a little dance. That's fine. I'm just thinking here. This door I might swap out for a one-way door. Not right now, but eventually. Once we start sending people like up and around this entire place, which we probably will try and do, I think swapping this out for a one-way thing. So basically you go through here. That's a one-way door already. And then you kind of make a decision. Do you go into this inner part and then like back through here? And then if you want to go out to the dwarven part, you have to go around again. It'd be a bit of a pain for people to do, but I'm kind of okay with that. And I kind of don't care. So like, I don't have to walk the museum. I just have to look at it from above. And that's fine by me. Let's have a look at what we got. We got the wind device. Okay. Send to inventory. Let me start another expedition. We're going to go straight back to the Cog Tower and we are going to get cursed again, which is fine. We'll go for the survey scanner. We'll go detailed. It is a 70-day expedition, which is kind of wild, but I think what we can do is probably rearrange some of this space. I think we're going to have to rearrange some of this space because by the looks of it, we're going to have 3 devices around the smelting device, which then needs to activate the good old geode device itself. So the geode device, I think, is going to live here, and I think that's fine. The smelting device, I think, is going to live, I want to say, I kind of want it to face the geode device. I think that's kind of cool. The problem that I have is getting all these things just together is going to be a bit of a pain. Unless I just do this sort of thing with it, and maybe that is what we do, is like shuffle this over, put this guy here. We can put the wind device sort of this way around, I guess. And then we put one more sort of down this way, and that kind of activates the whole thing. It's very weird space. I don't love it, because I was hoping I could make something that's like, I don't know, a bit more interesting than this, but I think this is just kind of ultimately what we're going to have to do here. And this is just the way it's going to be laid out, I suppose. I suppose something we could do is put some tiles underneath all of this, or maybe some stone underneath all of this, like the dragon's lair stuff, so it kind of feels a little bit more industrial, not industrial, but like a cave, like a dwarven cave is the vibe that I'm looking for here. I think these guys could also be moved a little bit closer together, just so that we can maybe get some curves going on, some angles going on with this path, or with that floor pattern. Although I realize if I'm putting something at the back here, it's going to be, man, this is going to be such a pain to make work, but some way, somehow I am going to do it. I think what I'm also going to do is actually not bother to put angles on those corners. I think what we'll do instead is something like this. I think I want to move the donation bin, and I'm going to put it sort of right here, so it's off to the side. I think this guy is going to live pretty much in the middle of that wall, which is fine by me. And then I think we go in, we get ourselves some decorations. We get these pillars, and they maybe live in these corners. I think that's maybe the option that we have here to make this feel a little bit more sort of dwarven and industrial. I don't love that I'm gonna have to mess with this for whatever we've just brought back from Cog Tower, but it should be okay. It's the fire device, of course it is. Where is it gonna go? Can it go over there? No, that's out of range. That's really unfortunate. Okay. Fire device. I mean, it could go like here. Oh man. I'm not sure where the fire device is going to go. I like this little layout here. I think it's kind of cool that everything's sort of together and moving and whatever, but now the fire device kind of messes that up for me. Let's move you out of there. Let's put this down in that corner for now. Let's get rid of these two guys, and let's see if I can put the fire device in this space. It can go in there. And I think, oh, everything's up and running. Okay, I'm not going to run the simulation just yet because I want to do some decorating before everything's up and running. I don't want to see it all moving until I've done my decorating. That's important to me. So we'll do something like this. I don't love that. I don't love that. It just doesn't look right to me. I know that's dumb, but it just doesn't look right. I think the fire device, let's go for a little bit of asymmetry, I guess, is what we're going to have to do here. The fire device is going to go, I suppose back here is where it can go, I think. I'm honestly not 100% sure. What's blocking it from going there? I think it's the smelting thing. So it can't, oh wait, it's also a circle, I realize. Oh, okay, it's not going to fit together with everything anyway. That's annoying. Okay, in that case, let's... I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make this work. This is going to come out. This is going to go to that corner. This is going to go here. That's a really tight little gap, though. I don't love that. Oh, man. I thought I was being clever, and I thought I was onto something. Would it make sense, if possible, to have the fire device like here? I think that's fine. It's like in the middle between them now, you know? That feels a little better. And you know, I think going in here with some boxes and crates and things just to make it feel a little bit more messy might sort of be the way to go here, just to really try and, I don't know, make the place have a little bit of character to it. That's sort of what I'm looking for. I think a bunch of meats just laying around feels very, very dwarven as far as I'm concerned. So we'll get a bunch of sort of boxes of meat into some of these corners just to, I don't know, get the dwarven vibes in here. We'll get some pottery in here, I guess. That feels a little bit less dwarven. We have a wall rune as well, which we can absolutely put somewhere. I'm not too sure where it can go, but let's see. Where would this thing, you know what? I want to say it can live there. That feels like an afterthought. I don't love that. Let's put it here just for now. It's sort of a nice decorative thing that we can have in that space. We'll put a light right here. We'll put a light right here. And I still feel like it's not cluttered enough. I do. I feel like it needs a little bit more going on in here just to make it feel that little bit messier. So we'll get a pot, I guess, right about here in front of that banner. That seems all right. We'll get a pot. You know what? Maybe we won't get more than what I've done there. I think I'm starting to overdo it. I would like to get some benches though. So maybe a bench just there would be kind of nice. And I want to say that we're probably good. Although I'm noticing these corners up here, a little bit dark. So maybe a little light right here, maybe a little light right there. And I want to say that's probably enough. Although one right there wouldn't hurt either. Oh my God, he's got a flaming. Okay, that's unexpected. Okay. That's wow. All right. Well, that was wow. That really is not what I was expecting from the Dwarven Forge. I'm not quite sure how to process what I've just seen, but yeah, that's great. That's great. That's perfect. My God, he's really going for it too. That's almost impressive. Let's put this thing here. Let me move this one down to the middle of these two windows. And I want to do a large donation. Maybe a small one actually would look a little bit better just against that wall. So we just have two of them in here. I think that's that kind of makes sense, just to make sure that everything is connected to it as well. I think it looks good though. It should mean that we can now go and process geodes, which is exciting. Since we have some decent ones too, I think what I'm going to do is just process this normal grass geode. And I want to see what it does. I want to see what processing a geode actually means, because I have no idea. So, oh, that's very pretty. That's very pretty. How do I take the thing off of it? Wait a minute. How do I take the thing off of it? That's the real question. I have no idea how to take the thing off of that. Can I like decorate? No. How do I get the geode? Or is this just what it looks like now? Have I made a terrible mistake by, oh God. How do I take the geode off the geode device? Oh no. Please tell me that's not stuck there now. There's no way it is. It's on exhibit, right? There's no way. I can't pick this up right now. Do I have to wait for an expert? Let's call an expert and see what happens. Oh, there we go. I can pick it up now. It's a grass gem. It's average, which is fine. It is going to sell for 20,000, which I'm going to do because it's average. I suppose what we'll do then is go ahead and refine our pristine water geode into a pristine geode device already in use. I disagree. It is definitely not, but I guess it just maybe takes a minute for it to start working. I honestly have no idea. Yeah, it says it's already in use. I guess we'll just leave this over here for now. That seems fine. This thing maybe needs to recharge. I have no idea how the geode device works, but I do know that this guy's little butt is just going to town. Just Go to town. That's horrendous. It's just horrendous. Is this up and working now? Can I put my crystal thing in there? Nope, already in use. Okay, well, that's fine. I suppose while we wait for the geode thing to start working again, we can go back to Folktown and see what else there is available up this way. So we'll autofill this. As long as we're not losing anybody, I don't really mind, which we're not going to be doing. So yeah, let's, I don't know which one of these I want to use. I think the survey scanner is probably the right pick. I think that'll kind of work. So we'll start this expedition and see what we can get our hands on. And I am starting to think that we probably should look into expanding some of this space just a little bit to get some more exhibits in here. Now, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and bring a little wall just off of here. So that's the middle of this. That is not the middle of this. That is the middle of this part. My thinking essentially is that if we're going to send people out and around, I want them to have to like come down here. They'll see some exhibits on this side and then they'll loop around into this area, basically, is my thinking. Oh no, this is very cool. That is something I need a complete thing for, because that could be an absolute showstopper in a new exhibit. So I think what we'll do, since I've started kind of working on this space over here, is figure out where exactly some things would start going. We have the Cavalry statue, which I think is kind of perfect for that spot right there. I think that's pretty good. We have things like Nor's Hammer, War Turf. We still have Fool's Gold, which admittedly is an older one. Nor's Hammer, I want to say maybe in here. I'm starting to get away again from the idea of this all being sort of shown off in a way that like fits the theme. Like this thing could probably use, like when we get the whole thing, we could put trees around it, rocks around it, all that kind of stuff, make it look kind of cool. These things are very specifically, like this is very specifically a display, right? It's a display of a weapon. This, I mean, it's unreachable for one. I wonder if we should put it over by this guy, like put it in that corner. So it's kind of it's this area is like battle themed. That could be kind of neat. And I sort of dig that vibe. If we go to this thing and say that we do want to go for that battle theme, do we have any interesting walls we could use? We have cave sandstone, which we have to get one more enlightenment with prehistory for. So I guess we're not going to be using that right now. We do have cave gray. So if we wanted to go with like a cave backdrop for this, that could be sort of interesting. If we wanted to go for maybe a wild wallpaper on this one would make more sense. And then we'll put some trees around it so it kind of has that like foresty vibe to it. And you know, I think a dirt floor underneath this probably makes sense as well. So we'll sort of just get that into this space, since I think that's probably for the best. I'm not too sure what the rest of the floor is going to be out here. Probably similar to what we've done before, but I do like the idea that this thing's going to have trees around it, and this is sort of going to be like a battle themed area. I think that's kind of neat. So let's get some decorations for it pretty much right away. We have statues and vine walls and all that good stuff. I think a prehistory spear, that's maybe even a little bit much. I think some faux ferns around this is a good start. And then if we kind of continue into like the general decorations, we have the palm trees, which I don't think really fit the forest vibe that I'm looking for, but the oak trees are way too big. So maybe we're just not doing trees around this one, since that might genuinely be a bit much. We do have acacia trees that we could unlock. We have large oak trees that we could unlock. I don't think any of them are really going to do much for me. I will get some desert rocks though, because I think, oh, they're huge. They're so much they're huger is the word I almost said there. They're so much bigger than I was expecting them to be. That's, yeah, those rocks are useless. Desert boulders, I'm assuming, yeah, similar story. Not really all that useful. Okay, so I think I might be onto something with this. I think it looks kind of decent, and I'm very much here for it. We are going to need to get a donation bin in here, which I think we'll go for the large one in this case because it's kind of all on its own over here, which is fine by me. We can go ahead and get ourselves an info stand as well. Do I want to use the glass one? I've been thinking about using the glass one. I do really like the hanging ones though. I think they look so much better. So I think we'll just put a hanging info stand right in that corner so you can kind of read about everything that's gone on in here. Maybe one right there as well. No, I don't like that one. I don't like that one. I think we'll just stick with what we have here. And you know what? I want to go out and I want to get the rest of that statue is what I want to do. I want to keep going there and get the rest of that Cavalry statue. So let's autofill this. We are not having someone get petrified. That is not happening in the slightest. So we'll do this. We might end up with a longer expedition, which I'm fine with. We're going to go for plus 120%, plus 130%. On this, it is 42 days with the potential to be 49 days. That's totally fine. And you know, while that's going on, let's go ahead and get a door just into this space. We're going to be a little bit limited on what we can do because of the space that's here, but I think a little something. I don't know if I want to go for a big archway, probably not the sci-fi looking one because that might be kind of silly. I think this kind of works. And I think I'm okay with that big old archway. I think that comes together nicely for sort of our jungly vibe that we have going on here. So let me grab this stone wallpaper if the game is actually going to let me do that, which apparently it really doesn't want to do right now. Let's grab this and just make sure it's on the inside of this wall right here. And I suppose we need to come up with something for a floor in here, which in this situation, probably something similar to what we've used in the old temple area. So we'll go for this like tile right here, and that should be all right. I think we can just bring it right up to the exhibit. I don't think there's any problem in doing that, to be completely honest. I think we'll just have it go right there. We can maybe bring this down and across like this. Does that look okay? It's a little cramped. This area is definitely a little bit cramped, but you know what? I think it's okay. I think we'll manage. Okay, so once again, let's see what is inside this crate. It is a pristine version of the coin of two sides, which is fine. I do know that we have one of those in here already, but we do need to start putting more exhibits into all of these spaces. So I think the coin of two sides could maybe live in here. It's kind of a weird spot for it. It does feel like kind of an afterthought. I don't love that it feels like an afterthought, but I'm not 100% sure where else I would put this thing. I don't really know what to do with it, to be completely honest with you. I'm really at a loss for what this thing is. It's a weird exhibit. It's a coin. It's a big coin. That's all it is. We could sort of slip it back into that corner a little bit, I suppose. I don't think that'd be the worst idea in the world. It would be nice to sort of have these little fences around it. I don't think that's going to be an option. It really does feel like an afterthought. I don't love that. Let's put some wood floor underneath it just to see if I can make it feel a little bit less like an afterthought. I'm not convinced that's going to be something I can do, but I am certainly going to try. No, that's a horrible little corner for that exhibit. So for now, we'll just send it to storage and we'll come back to that. In fact, I wonder if we were to do something like this, where we have two sort of tools or very distinct exhibits in this space, we could look at moving the coin into the space where this hat used to be, which would put two of them in the same room. But I'm kind of okay with that because I don't know, it kind of works in there, I think. I'm all right with that. I don't mind that too much. These guys do feel a little bit cramped in here. I don't know if I love that, but I think we can make it work. And I think if we just go ahead and start decorating around these, it'll come together a little bit. So this isn't going to be perfectly symmetrically laid out, but I think we'll manage with what we've got going on here. Let's do some banners, or a banner between them. And let's do, I don't know, a couple of banners down here as well. We'll not do the dwarven ones over here though, because we've got dwarven banners on the other side of the museum quite consistently. So it might be overdoing it a little bit to put more dwarven banners in here. It would be nice though, I think, to get some benches out here. So let's copy and paste the one that we have over this way into this space, just so people can kind of sit and chill and, you know, look at the exhibits if that's a thing that they want to do. We are going to need some info for these guys, so we'll put it just sort of there. I think that's totally fine. And people are going to want to donate for these exhibits as well. So let's do a big donation bin, which isn't going to reach this guy here. That's a bit of a problem. Okay. In that case, the bench can go and the donation bin can live right there. And that's perfectly fine as far as I'm concerned. You're at level 4 of 5. You are 5 of 5. We need a little bit more decoration in there and obviously some floor stuff to be done as well. Let's see what we could do. We have this guy, which is neat looking. If I put it there, it does feel just sort of thrown in there. I'm not going to lie. So maybe I cheat. Maybe I get lazy. Maybe I do 2 banners in here just to get that level up a little bit. I realize I could have also just easily done some lighting above them, which I'm always going to do anyway, but we'll do that as well. And that seems fine. Let's give them some flooring. Let's figure out what's going underneath them. I'm thinking in this case, we've done wood flooring for pretty much everything else. We'll do wood flooring for these guys as well. I might change it. It might not be a permanent thing, but wood flooring for now is totally fine. We can also get something up in here. Do we have any exhibits right now? We have Fool's Gold, which honestly, if I was to move this wall back a little bit, I wouldn't be against putting it in there. It's a little different from these guys, but it's another exhibit, which is neat. Although I've realized if I want to rearrange this, I do kind of want to keep these walls connected. So let's bring this back. Let's bring you back. Let's bring this up a little bit. Then we'll go at a bit of an angle here. And that is now hopefully going to give me the room for Fool's Gold right about there, which isn't going to be the most exciting thing that we've got in the museum because we do have a better version of Fool's Gold, but I do suspect that we are probably most likely gonna end up in a situation where we just, I don't know, we're gonna have to start repeating exhibits. I think I have a feeling that we are gonna have to start repeating exhibits because ultimately what's gonna happen is we're not gonna have enough of them. I think that's how it's gonna end up working. I'm also thinking that this space here is very much a continuation of this space. So I almost wonder if we should do my little one-way thing. I think this security gate I'm going to get rid of. I'm going to swap it out for a one-way thing right here. And I think we maybe do the same thing with this. I don't know. It does feel a little bit weird. Like it feels like this should almost be another temple archway, you know? I think it kind of makes sense that it would be a temple archway. But I do want to kind of loop people around in a way that's interesting. Although I think this needs to go. I do. I think this space, this area down here is very much a continuation of what's going on up here. I think it just makes sense. So let's do this, and then let's fill in all of this flooring, and that immediately looks so much better. It just immediately opens up the space in such a cool way, which I absolutely love. I really do. I'm really quite happy with that, actually. It's very, very cool. I do think these pillars might need to go, or at least be moved inside this exhibit. I think that would look a little bit better if we do this. And then maybe we can just put some barrels, maybe like a barrel down in that corner, or a crate. We can do a crate down in that corner, I think. We absolutely can. So it's going to live right there. We can do a barrel over in this corner. And we can do some benches here as well. We can actually finally get some benches back into this space, which I think is going to be beautiful for everybody. So we'll bring this over. We'll put it right about here. And that seems pretty good. We could do a bench maybe right about here. That seems pretty good. And I think we need to go and get ourselves this same wallpaper, even if it is this miserable dark gray around everything for now. We can probably change it up and probably make it a little bit more interesting, especially now that I realize that I think we're going to be using this wallpaper here, right? That's going to be the goal, using this guy. So essentially this entire wall gets changed out to look a little bit more like a tavern, and I'm very much okay with that. And we do the same thing just back here as well, inside of the exhibit. And that really does work. That really does bring it together. This guy's also 5 of 5 in decoration, but we can do better. We can get some lights around it just to brighten it up a little bit. I think that's important. We could do some pillars back there, maybe. The pillars might be overdoing it. I think we'll just do some chicken is what we'll do. We'll do some barrels, some boxes of chicken, some barrels of what I can only assume is alcohol because it's dwarven adjacent, right? That's how that works. And we'll do a big green, actually no, we have green right there already. What's my other color option? Purple. We'll do a purple sort of vase or vase, I don't care. We'll do that thing in there, and maybe some banners just to go all out. We'll get some dragon banners behind it as well. It's the dragon's gold is what it is. All right, let's take a look inside another crate. It is another part of the statue that is kind of perfect. It's starting to come together, which has me very excited. We just need one more part of it. So let's continue our expeditions to Falktown and see what we can do. I'm hoping for good things is what I'm hoping for. It is already pristine, so we can start using growth potions. And we want to make sure that we're always sending you, because otherwise we're going to be in trouble. We'll go for plus 80% in the survey anyway. In fact, you know what? We'll go safe. We don't need to go beyond pristine because there is nothing beyond pristine. I think we're in a good spot with Falktown right now. And you know, while that's going on, let's take a look at what else we have to do around here. This place, we have the loot. We have that already. This place needs a botany expert, fantasy expert, and fantasy expert. And we need to run a tour containing 3 enchanting items with a rating over 4.0. Let's pin that objective. This needs a fantasy and marine life expert. Really not interested in that one. 2 fantasy experts. 1 needs to be a level 3 potion master. We're getting there with that. It's going to take a little bit of time, but we're getting there with it. Do we have anything else that we need to do? We don't necessarily. I think we've kind of got... Oh no, we have a workshop project undiscovered. This is marine life. This is a bunch of fantasy experts. We need a rogue with 15 dexterity. We can probably work towards that, I'm sure. In fact, let me have a look at my staff and see how we're doing. So you are a bard right now. You're level 4. You've got 3 XP points available. Let's put those into luck, and let's put one of those into strength. That seems like a good idea. We then have you. You're a rogue, or I think a rogue. You have some upgrades, and it's 1 XP point into dexterity, which should unlock Troll Bridge, which is exactly what I wanted. Gregulus McTavern is away working right now, but you've got 4 XP points. You're a wizard. Let's do 1 in dexterity, 3 in intelligence, and confirm. Montgomery, you've got 1 available. You are a bard as well. We'll go for luck. We've got Amber Brisket. You are a barbarian. You've got 2 available. We'll go strength and strength. We'll kind of just lean into the barbarian thing, and another wizard with 2 available. Let's go 2 into luck. Why not? That seems fine. That should put us in a good spot. We can also look at my pay review, make sure everyone's happy, and give everyone a bit of a pay increase as well, just to keep them very happy. And I suppose that now means we can take a look down here. Now we need to send 4 people out here, but there's cannon fodder, there's mythical gear. Let's set up the expedition. No one is going to be killed, which is great. If we autofill this, we just end up with a money ambush, which is fine by me. So let's go for the survey scanner. Let's go for detailed. Let me maybe swap you out for you. That actually works out so much better, and it gives us 165% on the survey scan, which is perfect. And of course, we have this back over here as well, which gives us hopefully, oh, that is not what I was expecting, but a golden goblin statue is very cool. Where am I going to place a golden goblin statue? I have no idea. I guess maybe this space. It does sort of work in that corner, doesn't it? It's tucked away a little bit, which I don't love, but it sort of works. I just need to put stuff around it and make it look interesting and maybe do some stuff with the floor around it, but there's not really anywhere else that I want to put it right now, so that's probably where it's going to be going. I just kind of need to figure out this corner is what I need to do. We need to figure out what that floor is going to look like. So let's grab the same old thing. We'll bring this out. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. And yeah, this is where my problem comes in. This thing can sit there perfectly in the middle of that tile that I've sort of made, but it doesn't look great. You know, it does look like an afterthought, and that's something I don't love. Unless I just lean into the fact that it's an afterthought, like we do this to sort of separate it, but now it can't be viewed properly, which I don't want that to be a problem. Yeah, that's not good. That thing needs to be viewable, which apparently it isn't with that wall next to it. But you know what? Let's try and make this work. Let's get a light right here and a light right here. We'll really make this thing shine. We will get a pillar in the back and we'll look at what the buzz bonus needs. It's actually that column, which is perfect. I guess this is coming together. I guess this is sort of looking like a thing. It's looking like a thing is what it's looking like. We'll put ourselves a barrel, I guess, next to it sort of here, but that makes it, yeah, makes it so you can't properly view it, which is kind of a pain. Wow, this barrel has to be really far away from it, huh? I don't love that. Do not love that. That's a little bit unfortunate. The barrel can go there, I guess. We can do some other stuff next to the barrel, I suppose. Probably a crate with some bananas in it. I'm sure goblins love bananas. That's I'm sure that's a thing. Pretty sure I read that's like a thing in some movie. It isn't, I'm making it up, but that would be like that feels like a trope that goblins would have in some piece of fantasy fiction somewhere, right? Like, goblins, known for their violence against mankind, happen to love bananas. In fact, you could say they go bananas for bananas. Yes. The goblins also hate that joke and will kill you on sight for making it in their presence, but that's besides the point. Let's do this tome thing next to it as well, which apparently blocks it. That's not good. Yeah, this thing is just, it is just an afterthought. It's really, really kind of just crammed into a corner awkwardly. And I don't love that, but there's not a lot that I can do about it. I'm also thinking that maybe we throw some vending machines in here. We have got this space here, which really doesn't have much else going for it. So I think a vending machine right about there seems totally fine. We do have a weird corner right next to it, which I don't love. And I'm kind of wondering, can I sort of block that up? I totally can. Yeah, we'll do a vending machine here. You come out of this like temple thing and there's just a vending machine right there. That seems good. All right, let's take a look at what we have from the troll bridge. It is stone trolls, a petrified troll mid-gesture with a flat and open hand. Is this is going to be a Lord of the Rings / Hobbit reference, isn't it? And I love it. Absolutely love it. It is a pretty decently sized exhibit as well, which is quite cool. Not 100% sure where it's going to go because it obviously doesn't quite fit down here. We could try and make a whole like room out of it in here though, which could be kind of fun. Just putting it sort of in the middle of this space and turning this entire room into like a room for this exhibit. That could be interesting. And I'm sort of behind that idea. So I think we're going to do exactly that. We'll put this guy here. We'll get ourselves a nice big one of these doors. I think for it should be fine. And I'm kind of behind this. I like this a lot. Let's do ancient stone inside of this this entire space, because I think again that sort of makes the most sense. Around the exhibit itself, I'm thinking maybe just dirt and then ancient stone tiles is my idea for this. So we'll do, let's see, we'll do something like this, this, and this. We'll connect all of this together naturally. And then essentially we'll just go in here with the stone tiles. Probably not those ones. Probably not those ones either. I think those ones are pretty good though. I do like that a lot. And I'm kind of thinking it might be interesting to have a little bit of dirt just sort of around the outside here as well, in case we put anything else in this room, which is unlikely, to be totally honest. I don't see us putting anything else in here, but if we do, we at least have the we sort of have the room for it, which I think is cool. I like this a lot. I do. I think this looks very, very cool. And I'm very much behind the idea of just an entire room for this exhibit. That looks really neat, actually. I do think we might have overdone it slightly with the amount of room that we're giving to the dirt in the middle instead of this path out here. And I think I've now kind of like, I don't know, that shape, that just doesn't quite work. I wish you could do circles. I wish you could do circles, but I think that's going to have to be good enough is what it's going to have to be. I might even say that we go back to just the slightly more dirt so that I can have my, I can put little like railings around it or something. We could just do a big square as well, but I think this will be okay. Just something like that should be all right. Because my thinking is we do these little fences in the corners. I think that'll look kind of cool. I could do some torches on those. I can do some decorations around this as well. I mean, this room is going to be full of decorations. That's kind of the idea, is we're going in here. And again, I would love to put oak trees, but the trees are enormous. We could do it. We absolutely could. We could put a big oak tree there. Not a big oak tree, but we can put an oak tree there. And then we could do an info stand maybe back this way. Could be sort of interesting to have an info stand like there. Maybe we do it. Maybe we just commit to the idea of using some actual like giant trees in here. It's not like I'm going for realism, right? It's not that. I just think they look a little silly, but I can't deny that it is also kind of cool having the feeling that this thing is like in a forest, because that's the vibe that I want around this guy. I want it to feel like this particular exhibit is in a forest. Okay, so I think this has kind of worked. It sort of feels like a forest. It feels foresty at the very least, which is sort of what I'm going for. I'm also thinking that maybe this floor in here gets swapped out for that same one, so we kind of continue that vibe through that space. That seems like kind of a cool idea. And I'm realizing we also need to finish this statue over here, so we have to send out some more expeditions is what we got to do. We've got the stone trolls here, which is great. But if I can remember for the life of me, wasn't it Folk Town that we needed to head to get the rest of that statue? Let's try and do that first, because that seems like a really good idea. We'll send you, so we're not losing anybody, and we'll go for some bonus XP. We'll go for safe expedition on this one, and we'll see how it goes. I like this a lot, though. This feels like a really cool space, and we're getting people sort of going up and around here, which is great. That's very much what we're looking for. And there we go. We have the final piece of the Cavalry statue. Let's get that attached, which makes this thing look absolutely perfect. I love it so much. That's such a cool looking little thing in there. I love how this area is turning out. I'm so excited for the troll statue to come together. So let's start heading back down this way. We'll set up the expedition. We have a really good team going out here, which is amazing. Let's use the survey scanner. Let's swap you out for you, which does give us an ambush, which I don't love. What about you? That kind of works. 155% is pretty solid. Let's go detailed, which is 60 days, but that should be a really, really nice bonus to the survey level of that particular location. We also need to run a tour containing 3 enchanting items with a rating over 4.0. Man, I don't know how we do a tour in this museum with this layout. I hadn't really thought about that, to be honest with you. I really, really hadn't thought about how to do a tour in here. So this is going to be interesting. What does this need? Nearby a pristine fantasy exhibit? That's not going to happen. Yeah, no, I don't quite know how we do a tour in here. I mean, we have probably got room. Like if I got rid of this thing, maybe we could put like a tour guide in there, but that's like right in the middle of everything, which isn't exactly ideal. I suppose the ideal thing would be that the tour guide like starts down here, takes you around a bunch of the exhibits. The tour like stops at the end of the dwarven exhibits. And then you have another tour guide in here that takes you around these guys into like the temple thing. Yeah, I've really not built something here that's good for tours. That's going to be a problem. Interesting. Let's find out at the very least if the geode thing is up and running. It is. No, it's still in use. That's fine. It's not, but sure. It's still in use, I guess. The team spot a troll's bridge unguarded, with the giant taking a swim in the river under their bridge. The little shack has a pile of gold from all the tolls, as well as a lost and found. I want to lost and find something. The team search through the chest and find a tiny golden artifact. Hearing the troll approach, they slip away as if they were never there. We got a dwarven charm. That's lovely. Okay, I mean, we have enough money. We have $2.2 million. I think a dwarven charm is infinitely more interesting than just getting some money. Oh, now this is good. We managed to get another one of these trolls. Let's get that attached to the exhibit up here, which means we just have one more to get before that thing is completed. And I think completing that is kind of my goal for today. We do have some mythical gear that's undiscovered, so we're likely to find that, but we'll autofill this thing. We will go for, I guess, a survey scanner. We're up to pristine, actually. We don't need to. We'll go for the growth potion. And I'm going to say safe on this one. I think we can deal with that. So we'll start the expedition. We'll send everybody back out and hopefully finish that troll exhibit. Oh no, that was unexpected. I didn't think we'd get this right away, but we absolutely did, which means this thing is now finished. And I love that. I love that that's just a whole room to that exhibit. It's kind of perfect as far as I'm concerned. You got all the info about it here. You got some donation stuff around it as well. I love that. I'm so happy with that. Okay, so I think that's gonna do us for today. I do realize that the camera angle right now is conveniently blocking the view of what's going on down there. So there we go. That's, you know what, there you go. There's what you want to see. There. There's what we all want to. I can't believe that's a thing. I mean, it's harmless. It's just that's not what I was expecting. I'll be honest. When I was setting all this up in one of the cuts in this video, I did notice that this little robot, he had a little crack. I noticed it because you can see it when he stood up. Like, hold on a minute. If I do this, can I like turn it off? No. When he stood up, you could see that there was just like a little crack. And I thought, oh, he's got a little crack. Little did I know. Little did I know. But yeah, that's gonna do us for today. I love how everything's turned out here. We're kind of continuing with this like detailing, decorating thing. It's not perfect, but I love little exhibits like this. And even though I'm still kind of weird about the trees indoors, I do love how this has turned out. I like the foresty vibe for these guys. So yeah, that's gonna do us for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.